Hi everyone, I hope you are healthy at home. My name is Lisa, and each week I try to demonstrate a craft that you can make at home, probably using just supplies that you have at home. Today we're going to be making these adorable painted pots. I'm just going to show that process for you. They do not have to be the ceramic pots. They can be any pot that you choose. We just happen to have the ceramic pots on hand. You will also need some acrylic paints. I needed shears or something that's going to cut through a little skewer, wooden skewer, and we're going to need ribbon. I also have the twine that we can use as well. And then I found these 3 adorable stars that were linked together with burlap as a door hanger. So I disassembled those, and as you can see, for one of your pots, we're going to actually finish with the decor of that as well. So let me tell you, also we're going to need some paint brushes. Obviously I've got the stencil brushes for the circles, and then paint brushes for the actual red, white, and blue and the green paint that goes on there as well. I have a glue gun as well in order to adhere the twine or roping on a larger pot. You could use the roping to the pot itself. So simply all I have done, obviously, is I've taken this chalk paint in green and I've painted just the base, leaving this upper lip with the terracotta on this one. I've also taken white acrylic because it's all I had. Well, I had the chalk, so I believe this one is the acrylic. And I had just put just a little bit out into a paper plate with a very dry sponge for stenciling. I was able to make the dots, the polka dots on here. And then I also have a littler one that was used for the smaller dots. The good thing about this is you can reuse these, wash them out and reuse them, and do a series of these pots. And how cute would that be, especially if you are now using the seeds here from our library and your plants are actually starting to sprout and grow. These would be adorable lined up on an outside area. And so this could be used for the smaller one as well. There's no method to my madness. I just put them where I thought one was needed. And then just to add a little bit of extra to this, wrapped around the twine, gluing strategically in a couple of little places, and then just made a bow out of the twine as well. This does not have to be used for gardening. It's almost too cute for gardening to get dirty anyway. So this would be a great place to store such things as your paintbrushes, your collections that you have of scissors, markers, whatever it may be. So these are great, and they look really good on a shelf for storage as well. Now let's get to the patriotic one that I did. I used obviously 3 colors, the red, the white, and the blue. I put 2 coats of each on. I probably could have used a 3rd coat of the white, but that's okay. At a distance, it still looks good. Also, just to finish that edge a little bit, the space between my blue, my white, and my red, I also used the twine, and that evened out that line a little bit. I did not draw a line. I did not use tape. I just eyeballed what I thought was the distance that I needed and tried to keep that all the way around there as well. Now for the center part of this, I used something called Oasis. And I'm going to pull this back. And inside of here, you're going to notice that Oasis is used for flower arranging. And I just use a little small section. I actually glued that down into here. Although if I want to use this for planting later, I can easily get that out of there. And then to cover it, because it's not very pretty, I did not glue, but I tucked some burlap in there. So that covers that Oasis. And then I'll explain these in just a moment. Let me get this one back in here. My goal is to get a 3rd one in there as part of a demonstration today. So I pulled the burlap ribbon. I mentioned they were in a group of 3. I pulled the burlap ribbon off of the back of this. I think the next star that I'm going to make needs to be, I think I need to cut any off of this. By the time it goes to the oasis, I think it'll be the perfect height. And you can rearrange these as you go. But I'm just going to simply first wind something around, a ribbon around this to decorate it just a little bit more. I'm going to use this very thin red ribbon. I did not have blue or navy, so I'm going to use this. Just a touch of glue at the very top. This is a really cute way of celebrating the 4th of July, which will be here before you know it. And this is so inexpensive. This entire project would be definitely under $3, especially if you had a lot of the supplies at home. I'm simply just going to roll this just like I would a candy cane. Even it out just a little bit. Another touch of glue. I'm going to hold this in place for just a moment. The back of the star is not so pretty, but I'm assuming that if you had this in an arrangement or a display where there was a back to the display, then that's not going to be a problem. If you feel like it's ugly from the back, take a piece of felt. You can cover that, trace the star onto the felt, just glue that right over the back of these. You can see they're very unfinished. Now, also, if you bought more than one of these little strings, or excuse me, burlap ribbon, then there's nothing to say that the back can't be as pretty as the front. I'm going to trim my excess ribbon. And in the center, depending on how I want that to look, I think I want my stripes going that direction. And I glued it about halfway up. These are not heavy, but they're heavy enough that if I don't glue them halfway up, I fear that they would just topple off of this skewer. I'm using a wooden skewer because I have those on hand. There are some decorative straws that are patriotic that you can find in some of your big box stores that are just adorable. You could easily put the straw on the back of here. Okay, so that's what we have so far. And then it really needed a ribbon. And if you've seen any of my videos, you know I'm all about making just these raggy, saggy type bows. So I knew I wanted a little bit of glitz hanging down from these stars. So I just put various ribbon. I have white, I have a roping that's red, I have the actual rope itself, and then I've just tied those together. And just a little bit of glue on the front, right in the center. It would be fun if you wanted to add more glitz to this by using maybe a ribbon that had a little bit of glitter or shimmer to it, or silver or gold. Those are things I just did not have. Now I'm going to turn this to me for just a moment. And there you go. A really cute, decorative, patriotic decor. I hope you'll make one of these or attempt to use those pots. They're out there right now. Use those, a little bit of paint. You'd be surprised what you can make. I hope you enjoyed it.